In the beginning, there was nothing. The world was void and formless, shrouded in darkness and silence. Then God came. He was full of love and wanted to share it. His heart overflowed with a desire to create something beautiful, something that could reflect his boundless love and glory. With a word, he created the world. His voice echoed through the void, bringing forth light and order from the chaos. He made the blue sky, the green grass, and the sparkling water. It was beautiful. The sky stretched endlessly, a canvas of azure, while the grass carpeted the earth in vibrant green. The waters sparkled like diamonds under the sun, reflecting the beauty of his creation.
I will fill this world with life and wonder. Every corner of this new world will teem with creatures, each one a testament to my creativity and love.
God made animals of all shapes and sizes, from the tiniest insects to the largest beasts. Each one was crafted with care and purpose. He made the birds to sing, their melodies filling the air with joy, the fish to swim, gliding gracefully through the waters, and the lions to roar, their powerful voices echoing through the land. But something was missing. Despite the beauty and life, there was a void that the animals could not fill. God wanted someone special to share his love with, someone who could understand and reciprocate his love, someone made in his own image.
I will create a being in my own image, a being who can think, feel, and love just as I do.
So, God created Adam, the first man. He was formed with great care and intention, a reflection of God's own nature. He made Adam from the dust of the ground and breathed life into him. With that breath, Adam became a living being, filled with the Spirit of God.
Wow, this world is amazing. The colors, the sounds, the life all around me, it's more than I could have ever imagined. I can't wait to explore it. Every corner of this garden holds a new wonder, a new discovery waiting to be made.
Adam was strong and kind. He had a heart full of curiosity and a spirit eager to learn and grow. He loved to explore God's wonderful creation. Each day brought new adventures and new insights into the beauty and complexity of the world around him. God saw that Adam was lonely. Despite the beauty and wonder of the garden, Adam felt a deep sense of longing for companionship.
Adam needs a companion, someone who can share in his joys and sorrows, someone who can walk beside him in this beautiful world.
So he took one of Adam's ribs and created Eve, the first woman. She was crafted with the same love and care, a perfect companion for Adam. Eve was beautiful and gentle. Her presence brought a new light to the garden, a new sense of completeness.
Hello, Adam. Her voice was soft and kind, filled with warmth and affection. I'm so happy to be here with you. Together we can explore this wonderful world and share in its beauty.
Eve, you're perfect. Your presence makes this garden even more beautiful. I'm so glad we have each other. With you by my side, I feel complete.
Adam and Eve were so happy to have each other. Their love for each other was a reflection of God's love for them. They loved God and promised to obey him. Their hearts were filled with gratitude and reverence for the Creator who had given them such a beautiful life. God gave Adam and Eve a special home called the Garden of Eden. It was a paradise. Sweet-smelling flowers bloomed everywhere, filling the air with their delightful fragrance. The garden was a masterpiece of divine creation, with every plant and flower meticulously placed to create a harmonious and breathtaking landscape. Tall trees offered delicious fruits of every kind imaginable. There were apples, oranges, figs, and many other fruits that Adam and Eve had never seen before. Each fruit was more delicious than the last, and they could eat as much as they wanted. The trees were not just sources of food, but also provided shade and beauty to the garden. Sparkling rivers flowed through the garden, their waters clear and pure. These rivers provided fresh water for drinking and were home to many fish and other aquatic creatures. Adam and Eve loved to sit by the rivers, listening to the soothing sound of the water and watching the fish swim by. The rivers also helped to keep the garden lush and green, nourishing the plants and trees. This place is incredible. It's like a dream come true. Everywhere we look, there's something new and beautiful to discover. The colors are so vibrant and the air is so fresh and clean. It's hard to believe that such a perfect place exists. Look at all these beautiful flowers and trees. Each one is unique and perfect in its own way. The flowers come in every color of the rainbow, and their petals are so delicate and soft. The trees are tall and strong, providing shade and shelter. It's like living in a painting. And the animals are so friendly. They come right up to us and let us pet them. There are deer, rabbits, birds, and so many other creatures. They all live together in harmony, and they seem to understand us. It's amazing to be so close to nature. I love learning their names. Each animal has its own personality and habits. Some are playful, while others are more shy. But they all have a place in this garden, and they all contribute to its beauty and harmony. It's fascinating to watch them and learn from them. Adam and Eve loved to explore their new home. Every day was an adventure, as they discovered new plants, animals, and places within the garden. They never grew tired of exploring, as there was always something new to see and learn. The garden was vast and full of surprises, and they felt a deep sense of joy and wonder as they wandered through it. They talked with the animals and learned their names. The animals were not just creatures to be observed, but friends and companions. Adam and Eve felt a deep connection with them, and they spent hours playing and talking with them. The animals seemed to understand them, and they responded with affection and trust. They laughed and played together. The garden was a place of joy and happiness, where worries and fears did not exist. Adam and Eve felt a deep sense of peace and contentment, knowing that they were in a place created just for them. They enjoyed each other's company and the beauty of the garden, and they felt truly blessed. God visited them every day in the cool of the evening. These visits were the highlight of their day, as they felt a deep sense of love and connection with their Creator. God would walk with them through the garden, talking with them and teaching them about the world He had created. They felt His presence and His love, and they knew that they were never alone. Adam, Eve, I have a special rule for you. This garden is yours to enjoy, but there is one thing you must remember. It is important for your well-being and happiness. You may eat from any tree in the garden, except for one. There are many trees here, each one bearing delicious fruit. You are free to enjoy them all, but there is one tree that you must not touch. That is the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It stands in the center of the garden, and its fruit is forbidden. If you eat from that tree, you will die. This is a serious command, and it is for your own good. If you eat from that tree, you will die. This is not a punishment, but a consequence of disobedience. The knowledge of good and evil is not something you are ready for, and it will bring you great sorrow and pain. Trust me, and obey this command. We understand, God. We will obey you. We trust you and know that you have our best interests at heart. We will not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Yes, we know you love us and want what's best for us. We are grateful for this beautiful garden and all the blessings you have given us. We will follow your command and trust in your wisdom. Adam and Eve promised to obey God. They felt a deep sense of gratitude and love for their Creator, and they were determined to follow His command. They knew that He had given them everything they needed for a happy and fulfilling life, and they trusted in His wisdom and guidance. They knew He loved them and wanted what was best for them. They felt His presence in the garden, and they knew that He was always with them. They were happy and content, knowing that they were in a place of perfect peace and harmony. They were happy to follow His rules. They felt a deep sense of joy and fulfillment, knowing that they were living in accordance with God's will. The garden was a place of beauty and wonder, and they were grateful for every moment they spent there. They knew that as long as they obeyed God's command, they would continue to live in this paradise forever. One day, a sneaky serpent came into the garden. He was very clever and tricky. He saw Eve sitting near the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The serpent slithered up to Eve and began to speak to her.
Did God really say you couldn't eat fruit from any tree in the garden?
The serpent asked, pretending to be confused.
We can eat from any tree except that one. God said, if we eat from that tree, we will die.
The serpent laughed.
You won't die. God knows that if you eat from that tree, you will be like him, knowing good and evil.
Eve looked at the fruit. It looked so delicious and tempting. She began to doubt God's words. Maybe the serpent was right. She wanted to be wise like God. Eve couldn't resist any longer. She took a bite of the fruit.
This tastes sweeter than anything I've ever tasted before.
She quickly gave some to Adam, and he ate it too. As soon as Adam and Eve ate the fruit, they felt different. They felt ashamed of their nakedness. They tried to hide from God, but he saw them.
Why have you disobeyed me?
Eve gave me the fruit and I ate it.
The serpent tricked me.
But God knew they had made a wrong choice. God punished the serpent for tricking Eve.
Because you have done this, you will crawl on your belly and eat dust for the rest of your life.
Then God turned to Adam and Eve.
Because you disobeyed me, you will have to leave the Garden of Eden. Life will be hard for you now. You will have to work hard for your food. One day you will die and return to the dust from which you came.
Adam and Eve were sad to leave their beautiful home. They were scared of what life would be like outside the garden. But they knew they had done wrong. They had to face the consequences of their actions. Even though Adam and Eve disobeyed, God still loved them. He showed them his love by providing for them. He gave them clothes to wear and taught them how to survive outside the garden.
One day I will send a Savior. This Savior will be like a bridge back to me. He will take away the punishment for your sin and make it possible for you to be close to me again.
Adam and Eve had children, and their children had children, and so on. God's promise of a Savior was passed down through the generations. People waited patiently for the day when God would make everything right again. God never forgot his promise. He always keeps his promises. He loved the world so much that he sent his Son, Jesus, to be the Savior. The story of Adam and Eve teaches us important lessons about making good choices and trusting God. This ancient tale, found in the book of Genesis, is more than just a story. It is a profound narrative that speaks to the human condition and our relationship with the divine. Adam and Eve made a bad choice when they listened to the serpent instead of God. The serpent, representing temptation and deceit, convinced them to eat the forbidden fruit, leading to their downfall. This act of disobedience had far-reaching consequences, not just for them, but for all of humanity. They let their own desires get in the way of obeying God. This moment of weakness is something we can all relate to. We often face situations where our desires conflict with what we know is right. The story of Adam and Eve serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the importance of self-control and the dangers of giving in to temptation.
We all make mistakes, just like Adam and Eve. It's a part of being human. But what's important is how we respond to those mistakes. Do we learn from them and strive to do better, or do we continue down a path of poor choices? The story encourages us to reflect on our actions and seek growth and improvement.
But God forgives us when we ask him to. His mercy is boundless, and his love is unconditional. No matter how many times we falter, he is always ready to welcome us back with open arms. This is a powerful reminder of the grace that is available to us if we seek it with a sincere heart. He wants us to learn from our mistakes and make better choices in the future. Life is a journey of growth and learning, and each mistake is an opportunity to become wiser and more compassionate. By reflecting on our actions and seeking guidance from God, we can navigate the challenges of life with greater wisdom and understanding. He gives us his word, the Bible, to help us know right from wrong. The scriptures are a source of divine wisdom, offering guidance and insight into how we should live our lives. By studying the Bible, we can gain a deeper understanding of God's will and align our actions with His teachings. When we trust in God and follow His plan for our lives, we experience true joy and peace. This trust is not always easy, especially in times of hardship and uncertainty, but it is through faith that we find strength and solace. God's plan is always for our good, even when we cannot see it clearly. We can live with confidence, knowing that God is always with us, guiding and protecting us. His presence is a constant source of comfort and assurance. In moments of doubt and fear, we can turn to Him for support and guidance, knowing that He will never abandon us. He loves us unconditionally and wants the best for us. This love is a cornerstone of our faith, a reminder that we are cherished and valued beyond measure. It is this love that gives us the courage to face life's challenges and the hope to persevere through difficult times. The story of Adam and Eve is a reminder that God is a God of second chances. Despite their disobedience, God did not abandon them. Instead, He provided a path for redemption and reconciliation. This theme of second chances is woven throughout the Bible, offering hope and encouragement to all who seek it. No matter what we've done, He is always ready to forgive us and welcome us back into His loving arms. This message of forgiveness and love is at the heart of the Christian faith. It reassures us that no matter how far we stray, we can always return to God's embrace, where we will find acceptance, healing, and peace.